Hey guys, this is Amy with Apex Acres and welcome to another episode. This one is going to be kind of a mishmash of a bunch of different things that we've done over the past couple of weeks. I really didn't have anything too terribly exciting to video that would necessitate a large video on its own. So we're going to put a bunch of little things together that we've done just with the kids in the last couple of weeks as a family, or just Nick and I together, and then we're going to end it up with a potato dig. What'd you find, boys?
Snakehead, and our head got chopped off by the hay mobile thingy, McWingy.
The hail baler got caught up in the hail baler, didn't it?
Yeah, it's dead now.
Casualties of hay.
All right.
Just went to the post office and we got a new box of little peepers. Got some more meat birds for the farm. Well, we've got them home and it doesn't look like we have any losses, which is fantastic. The hatchery spaced them out in the sections of the box, so that way they had plenty of airflow and they didn't overheat in the hot shipping. So kudos to Will Patry, they did a fantastic job, and we'll get these guys some water and some feed and get them put up in their areas. They're dipping their beaks in the water so that way they know where their water source is, and their feed is over here with some silver lace Wyandottes and gold lace Wyandottes that we have that we picked up from Rural King last week. You know, it's pretty hard to believe that these little yellow chicks will one day, probably in about 4 weeks, 5 weeks, be the size of these big white ones. The growth rate is just incredible with the Cornish cross wheat birds. No, we don't keep all the Cornish cross mixed together. Those two big ones just happened to jump over while we were taking care of the little ones because we have a metal divider. And I just thought I would show you a comparison of the size from being like 3-day-old chicks compared to 5-week-old chicks. So that gives you an idea of how quickly they can become a food source for your family. We will process these meat birds the second week of July, so in about 4 weeks. So from now on, they're just going to be gaining size and getting to be a bigger chicken. We will probably process them when they're somewhere between 5 and 8 pounds. They're growing really fast, a lot faster than normally, and sometimes it's a faster grow out, sometimes it's a slower grow out. This year it's a faster, so they will be on the larger side. We're waiting to process them until the middle of July because the kids are going to show some of these for 4-H. So we have to make sure that we have grown chickens for them to enter for their projects. Guys, I can't believe that we are finally here. We drove this morning to come to Clay Plant Road Pottery to see their first ever open house. Take a look at some of their amazing products. at these gorgeous mugs I scored from Clay Plant Road. This one is one of her Doodle series mugs. And she also does TV show themes and movies. So she does some like Harry Potter mugs. She does Friends. And just a bunch of other ones. And then this one, I don't know what it's called or what the style's called, but isn't it just gorgeous? I also got one more that was their Witch's Brew mug that I gave to my friend Vicky. Hey Vicky, hope you're enjoying your mug. But if you guys like handmade pottery from a small local artisan, you absolutely have to check out Clay Plant Road. They are on Instagram and also have a Facebook page. They also have a website, but I tell you what, they sell out like super duper fast, but their stuff is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, obviously, isn't that a thing of beauty? I just love it. Most gorgeous mugs. They fit in your hand perfectly. They're the right size for everything. It's not a gigantic mug. It's not a teeny tiny teacup mug. They're just perfect. And they have plates, all kinds of other bowls and cups and dish sets. Like you can even order custom dish sets from these guys. They are absolutely phenomenal. It's a husband and wife team, and I urge you to check them out. Clay Plant Road. Are you ready? Are you ready? I hope you're ready, because it's potato digging time. Probably one of my most favorite harvests all year is our potato harvest. It's like digging buried treasure. You never really know what you're gonna get, but it's exciting every time you pull up a plant. Don't know what I'm talking about? Let's do this. Now when you're digging potatoes, it's best if you're in a raised bed to just grab a hold of the plant and slowly pull up. So we're gonna flip it over and take a look at what we've got. Yes! Ta-da! Look at those potatoes! And yes, they're on the small side, but that's how we like our potatoes. We don't usually do really large potatoes. As far as this cracking here, to me, that's as the potato was forming. It probably got a lot of rain at one time. We had a week where we had rain almost every day and probably got about 5 inches. And I bet this is the day that these cracked and kept going. But anyway, great looking potatoes. As you go through, pop up all of them that you can. Even the small ones. These are great to fry in a skillet. Woohoo! Look at those potatoes. Awesome. After you get a few plants pulled out, I like to dig in a little deeper with my hands just to see if there's any lower. Here's one I would have missed. Kind of dig through them and just make sure you got everything. Now these potatoes that I'm picking are Kennebecks, and I get the seed potatoes from our local Rural King. And you want to pick your potatoes as your plants start turning brown and dying back. They've already flowered, and now they're in the process of dying back. I probably could have let these go a little bit longer, but I'm going to be putting my pepper plants in place of the potatoes, and they need to get in the ground. Again, like I said, these little ones are great to fry in a skillet with some butter and onion. They're absolutely delicious. So this is what we got from the first 3x6 bed. Not too bad. I could have asked for a little bit more, but let's just see what the other 2 beds give us before we're too quick to judge. Now that is probably one of the weirdest potatoes, I don't know if you can see it, there we go, I have ever seen. I've never seen one lumpy and bumpy like this before. I'm not really sure why it's that way, but it almost looks like, again, it's split because of too much water. So let's go through and see what the rest look like. And actually, most of them from this plant are that way. I hope the rest of the bed isn't as well. The next plant looks okay. Well, that is it. Definitely interesting. I've never had potatoes do this before. If any of you know why they did this, please leave a comment below, because I'd love to know what I did to make them all weird and lumpy like this. Now this next row I'm going to take out, I'm going to be kind of careful with how I pull it out because I have runner beans growing up the trellis next to the potatoes. At the time when I planned it, it was a smart idea, but I have a feeling I'm going to have issues with disrupting the roots, so I'm going to try to be extra cautious. Some more funky potatoes again. I'm not sure really why it's doing that. I mean, they're still edible, so it'll be okay. Well, first 2 beds are done and not too bad. I think we had a larger yield last year when we had them in the round beds. But what I'll do is look back at my videos and compare to see what the difference is. We have one more bed left to do, so let's get to go ahead and picking it and then see what our total haul is. Look at those beautiful potatoes. This is all just from one little piece of potato that we planted back in April, I think. Alrighty, all 3 beds of potatoes have been dug up. So let's see how much we got. All in all, not too bad. Some of them were smaller than I would like, which would probably have been better had we had a little more rain here at the end when I was before I was going to pick them. Also, if I had time to let them stay in the bed a couple more weeks with the chance of getting some good rain, they probably would have grown to be bigger. But that's okay. We mainly use potatoes for roasts, like in a crock pot or in a soup anyway, and these little ones are perfect. So if you calculate it up, I probably have about 20 pounds of potatoes here. And if you would figure all the little fancy small baby potatoes that you would buy at the store and the little 1-pound bags and how much they cost, for my $4 in seed potatoes, I am probably saving somewhere around $20 when it's all said and done with the potatoes that I have. So pretty happy with the harvest. Now, once you've picked your potatoes, you need to allow the skins to harden or thicken, basically toughen up for a few days. I like to let them sit out for about a week, and a great place for me to do that on a rack is in my greenhouse, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. As you can see over here, I've got them all spaced out and they're sitting on a rack. I've got a few more to space out. I've got some more over here. And then I have them at a flat here. I've got too many in there though, I need to spread them out. But this gives them a chance for their skins to harden, to toughen up, to not get scuffed and scraped and damaged each time you try to pick them up. And then they just store a whole lot better. Now, after they've been sitting out for about 5 days, then I'll take them and put them in a burlap sack and keep them in the basement and store them over winter. Now you may wonder, what am I going to do with the space left in the garden now from where we've pulled these potatoes? It is only the beginning of July, so now we're going to be planting peppers. This is all part of succession planting, and that will be in our next video. Please stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching this episode of Apex Acres. Please like and subscribe.